Morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss in Civics Unit 4 Forms of Government, which we have already discussed in lesson number 1 along with the forms of government, different types of democracy. Today's chapter, Forms of Government. To know about the type of constitutions we are going to discuss, to understand the forms of government, to learn the merits and demerits of the different forms of government, to understand the difference between the unitary means single, and federal, multiple, presidential and parliamentary forms of government. Let me go to the introduction first. Government is the main agency of the state. It comprises of several members belonging to political and administrative wings. It serves as the instrument for the delegation and execution of the state policies. A delegation is nothing but a body of representatives, a leader who is leading the and executing the state policies for the welfare of the people. It formulates, expresses and realizes the will of the state. It exercises certain legislative, that is law making or law giving, executive, that is administrative, and judicial powers, the justice, based on the constitution and the laws. There are three organs, as we all know that, in the government, namely legislature, executive, and judiciary. These organs carry out the activities of the state. So governments are classified into unitary, federal, parliamentary and presidential forms. Look at this now. Organs of government, what we have discussed, three types: legislature, executive and the judiciary one. Now let me know the meaning of the government. Government refers to the executive functions of the state. It denotes a body having authority to make and enforce the laws which are applicable to the civil, corporate, religious, academic or the other groups. What it refers? It refers to the executive functions of the state. Now look at the types of the constitution. What are the types? Constitution is nothing but a body of fundamental principles of law, that is அரசியல் அமைப்பு. Look at the types of constitution. One is the written constitution or unwritten constitution, federal or unitary form, flexible or the rigid. So these are the types of constitution. It's one of your second brief answer. Look at that unitary form of government. Unitary means single, which is based on the central government. A unitary system of government or unitary state is a sovereign state governed as a single entity. What is sovereign? Supreme ruler, especially a monarch, a single king, how like central government. The central government is the supreme, and the administrative division which exercises only powers that the central government has delegated to them, that is to represent the others. The person who is sent to represent others, delegated. Which are the countries? Example, like England, France, Japan and Sri Lanka. They are the good examples of the unitary form of government, that is monarch, single government. The term government is derived from Old French governor, derived from Latin gouverner, to direct, rule, guide and to govern. Look at which is the oldest form of government. Very old. How they form the government? Monarchy. That means single government. How a king or queen is the head of the state for that. So monarchy is the oldest form of government in the United Kingdom, UK, Britain, England or otherwise we call. So in a monarchy, a king or queen is the head of the state. The British monarchy is known as constitutional monarchy. So this means while the sovereign is the head of a state, the ability to make and pass the legislation which resides with an elected parliament. You know that parliament wing, it's a legislative wing. Now, this is the unitary form of government. Merits of unitary form of government. What are the merits? It's an important one of your first detailed answer. Suitable. It's suitable for all small countries. There is no conflict, that is, no fight of authority and responsibility. A unitary government will make prompt decision, that is, properly apt decisions and take speedy action. Very fast decision are taking out. A unitary government is a less expensive because single government, they are not going to listen to any other person. Amendments, that is changes, alterations they are bringing to the constitutions are very easy because of the single government. They are not asking to any other person to consult with any other states. So there is a uniformity of law, policy and administration, that is management. There is a unity between the management and the law, policy which makes towards by the government. Look at the demerits of the unitary form of government. It is not suitable for big countries, of course, because we need a multi. The central government will have to tackle so many complex problems that lead to the administrative delay. Because of the big countries, they have to look after such a big area, the people's problems, everything, it will become as a very, very complex to them. Then automatically the management is just getting delay. The central government will not concentrate on local problems, local interest and initiative, very prime. The concentration of powers may pave way for the despotism, that is dictatorship of the central government. The concentration of powers may pave the way for the dictatorship of the central government. So these are the demerits of the unitary form of government. These are the unitary features of the Indian Constitution. The next point of view is federal form of government. Federal means two or the more. The classification of governments into unitary and federal is based on the nature, relations between the national and the regional governments. A federal government is one in which powers are divided between the national government and the regional governments by the constitution itself, and both operate in their respective jurisdictions independently. So they are following their own law, federal and as well as the unitary, single one. Example, USA, Switzerland, Australia, Canada, Russia, Brazil, Argentina, they have the federal form of governments. They are the good example for the federal form of government. Now single government, what we have learned, England, France, Japan and Sri Lanka were the good example. Now this is for the federal. USA, Switzerland, Australia, Canada, Russia, Brazil, Argentina have the federal forms of governments. Look at the advantages, merits of federal form of government. Reconciliation of local autonomy with the national unity. Division of power between center and states which leads to the administrative efficiency. It gives rise to big states. Distribution of powers check the despotism of the central government. It is suitable for the bigger countries. It is very much suitable for the bigger countries, federal form. Unitary means single, but it is suitable only for the smaller countries. As we know all, federal government, it's suitable for the bigger countries. It is good for the economic and as well as the cultural progress, development of economic and cultural level. Demerits of the federal form of government. Federal government is weaker when compared to the unitary government because they are taking their own decision by the single. Here federal, they have to ask to the more person, those who are related to the country or the state. Federal government is more expensive. Then provincial tendencies are very common. Lack of uniformity in administration. Threat to the national unity. Distribution of powers between the center and states which lead to the conflicts. Double citizenship. A rigid constitution cannot be amended easily for the changing needs. The state government sometimes place hindrances in the foreign policies. So it gives you the demerits of the federal form of government. Federal features of the Indian Constitution is the dual government, written constitution, division of powers, supremacy of the constitution. Now, we'll see the difference between the unitary form and the federal form of government. What is that? This very very important. It's one of your first distinguished and as well as the fourth brief answer in this. So please kindly make a note. Unitary form of government. There is only one level of government or subunits. For the federal, two levels of government. Then single one, most single citizenship. Mostly they have a single citizenship. Here dual citizenship for the federal government. Subunits cannot operate independently. Here federal units are answerable to the central government. No division of power. Here division of power. Centralization of power. Decentralization of power because of the federal government. So this is the difference you are finding in unitary form and in the federal form of government. Now we are going to discuss the parliamentary form of government. Modern democratic governments are classified into parliamentary and presidentially on the basis of the nature and the legislative organs of the government. Now look at that. Modern democratic governments are classified into parliamentary and presidential on the basis of nature of relations between the executive and the legislative organs of the government. The parliamentary system of government is a one in which the executive is responsible to the legislature for its policies and acts. The system is very very important, which the executive is responsible to the legislature for the policies and the acts. Parliamentary government is also known as cabinet government. It's one of your objective. The parliamentary government is also known as what? Cabinet government or responsible government, or otherwise we call Westminster, which is a model of government, and it's prevalent in Britain, Japan, Canada and India among others. Now look at the country and the name of the parliament. They have asked you in one word answer in fill in the blanks. Country is Israel. Name of the parliament is Knesset. Germany, Bundestag. Denmark, Folketing. Norway, Storting. USA, it's a Congress. Japan, it's a Diet. Britain, it's a Parliament. So we are following the Britons only. Prime Ministership, Parliament, everything we are following. India is following the Britain's one, Parliament. Features of the parliamentary form of government. It is a nominal and real executives. Majority party rule. Point number 3 is collective responsibility, dual membership, leadership of the Prime Minister. So everything is a parliamentary form of government. What are the merits of the parliamentary form of government? It's a harmony between legislature and executive. That is a friendly relation between legislative wing and the executive administrative power. And very much responsible government. It prevents a dictatorship, wide representations. Now look at the demerits of the parliamentary form of government. It's an unstable government. Stable means it should be having a same decision or following the same. Unstable, opposite opponent teams, they are just having a different ideas and concept. No continuity of policies. The dictatorship of the cabinet, which against the separation of powers. The presidential form of government. Previously we have discussed about the parliament form of government. Now we are talking about the presidential form of government. This is one of your second detail. The presidential form of government is also known as non-parliamentary or fixed executive system of government. Basically built on the principle of separation of power, and it's prevalent in the USA, Brazil, Russia and Sri Lanka among others. The second detail answers continuation is here with the distinguished difference between the parliamentary form of government and the presidential form of government. Look at this. Difference between the parliamentary form of government and the presidential form of government. First we'll discuss about the presidential form of government. Here, president is directly elected by the people. President is supreme. The separation of powers has the right with the presidential form of government. Then independent branches they have. President is the head of the state here. President is the head of the government. Individual leadership. President is not accountable to the Congress. Okay, this is a presidential form of government. Now we are going to talk about parliamentary form of government. So here Prime Minister is from the majority party. Central legislature is supreme. Their president is supreme, we have learned. Now here central legislature is supreme. Absence of separation powers, centralization. Independent branches with overlapping functions. Here also president is the head of the state. There in a presidential form of government, president is also head of the state. Here head of the government is prime minister. Parliamentary form of government, who is the head? Prime minister is the head of the government. There in the presidential form of government, president is the head of the government. Parliamentary form of government, prime minister is the head of the government. Here collective leadership, there individual leadership. And the final answer, president is not accountable to the Congress, we have told in the presidential form. Here parliamentary, collective and individual responsibility. This is your continuation of your second detailed answer, and the second distinguish is also available here. This is the relationship between the center and the state in India. India is a union of states where the power is shared between the center and the state as per the procedures which mentioned in the Constitution of India. Though the powers are shared between the central and the state governments, the final decision is by whom? By the central government in all matters. The relation between the center and the states are legislative relations, administrative relations, financial relations. Both the central and state government have the power to make laws, but the matters differ. The center can make laws applicable to the whole nation on certain matters called as union list. The states have the powers to make laws in some matters only, applicable to their own state, called as the state list. The concurrent list includes the subjects on which both central and state government have the power to make laws. Now we'll discuss about the union list, state list separately, about the concurrent list. Union list has 100 subjects. These include foreign affairs, defense, armed forces, post and telegraphs, interstate trade and commerce, and so on. This is union list. Now state list, it consists of 61 subjects which include public order in the state, police, prisons, local government, agriculture, and so on. Concurrent list, finally we are discussing. The concurrent list has 52 subjects which includes criminal and civil procedures, marriage and divorce, economic and special planning, newspapers, books and printing presses, population control, and as well as the rest other thing. Go on. So these are the relationship between the center and the state in India. So please go through all the important presidential form of government, parliamentary form of government, the other extraordinary including your state and the central in India. So please go through once again. It's very, very important. Take care, my dears. Study well.